It's only 6:20 in the evening right now, and there's no cars on the street. I can't see a single person, and the mall is closed already. I think we're officially living a ghost town right now. I uploaded my last video a week ago, and since then, a lot of people actually have seen the video and gave me a lot of positive feedback. I really appreciate it. And also, thanks for the kind words to my mom. That's really heartwarming. And life goes on. We've lived under this unique situation for another week already. And since you guys care about it, and the situation has not been cleared, it would only make sense for me to give an update. And this is my update after another week of surviving the deadly coronavirus. Since I published my last video, we only went out this apartment building twice for the sole purpose of grocery shopping. To be honest with you, the first time we went out, it was quite worrying because the shelves were completely empty. We couldn't get a lot of the necessary food we wanted. People are lining up. Let's try to get some fresh meat. And also, you can see the difference and feel the intensity every single day. For example, in this apartment building, on this floor, there are a bunch of empty apartments got completely locked up. Maybe it's because they didn't rent it out, or maybe because the owners went back home for the Chinese New Year and couldn't come back. But either way, the government tried to use this method to prevent people from traveling too much during this time, and they can only come back when the situation has been cleared out. And every single time we need to get out of this neighborhood, we need to register with our IDs, just like I said in the last video. For every 3 days, every household can only allow one person to go outside for grocery shopping. That's it. But because my girlfriend is a foreigner, they allowed both of us to go outside, which is not bad. Even though the government tries to prevent people from traveling too much, certain amount of people are still traveling back from their hometowns. That's why a lot of cities and districts, they're handing out those QR codes for people to scan them and register their health information just in case anyone has symptoms. In my last video, when I went to downtown, McDonald's and KFC, these places were open, but now they are closed as well. And another thing is, a lot of the roads were completely blocked. That was pretty shocking. Today is the 5th of February, and I live in a city called Hangzhou in China. And I just got out of my apartment building right here, and this road is normally very busy, but today this road is completely blocked. There's no cars in, no cars out. We haven't got any instructions to tell us there's a lockdown, but everything just feels like one. Parking lots are blocked as well, so this is just right by the road, and there's a lot of cars parking here because they can't park anywhere else. We're just walking around in the neighborhood, and we try to go to another area which has a lot of stores and restaurants usually, but this road is completely blocked. You check this. This is not a very busy road, but still it's right beside the neighborhoods. So yeah, this is bizarre. They left a little window on the wall. Let's see what's on the other side. It's completely empty. Oh my god. This is hilarious. Public toilets are completely blocked as well. Now this is another major road, and this is normally a very busy intersection, but check this. There's a police checkpoint here, and they blocked this whole road. And on the other main road, there's no cars, only a few, and there's a delivery guy. If you look behind me, this is the headquarters of the tech giant Alibaba. I live very close to this area. Every time when I go past this place, no matter it's very early in the morning or it's very late in the night, the lights were always on. But as you can see here, nobody's working in those buildings. but there's still no signs of work. The streets are still empty, even though in this apartment building. On this floor, beside the elevator, the garbages are just piling up, simply because the cleaners cannot come to work due to the restrictions. There's always people come in here and spray some disinfectant chemicals, and that is the very first thing we can smell every single time when we step outside the store. I believe a lot of people are not enjoying this time staying at home. So people snuck out from the neighborhood, we didn't, but I think I understand their feelings because this thing is not pleasant at all. There's a person sneaking in with their groceries. We got used to the sound of the ambulance these days. No matter it was during the day or it was in the night, we could always hear the ambulance just passing by really, really fast. People's lifestyles changed because of this coronavirus situation. In China, because we have so many different services, our lives are actually really easy, and we got used to it. For example, grocery stores are everywhere. And also, if you feel lazy, don't want to go anywhere, you can just simply open an app and order something online, and your stuff will be delivered to you within 30 minutes, normally. Personally, I like ordering online, but every single time if I go to the supermarket, I wouldn't buy a lot of things, simply because it's just right across the street. I can get whatever I want within minutes. But these days, the situation is quite different. Every time when we go to the supermarket, we can always see people grabbing big bags of food going back home. And that's quite unusual because Chinese cities are quite dense, which means a lot of people, they don't drive to the supermarket to get their groceries. Rather, they walk there or they ride their electronic bikes. So you can imagine if you get a lot of food and you ride your bike home, it's gonna be quite inconvenient. People cannot go back to their normal lives, so they cannot produce as much as before, as well as they cannot consume as much as before, which means businesses are gonna suffer. Every single day when a business shuts its door, it's gonna lose money. We don't know how long will this situation stay like this, but 1 month or 2 months, it can be detrimental to a business. I happen to know a lot of business owners are worrying every single day because they don't know how they can survive this. And on the other hand, employees are worrying as well because all of a sudden, everybody has been forced to work remotely from home. And not a lot of people got used to this new way of working, so their productivity is decreased dramatically. And people are actually jokingly saying that it's only a matter of time for my company to realize that they don't need me anymore. And when they realize that, I won't have my job anymore. When a country's businesses suffer, the country's economy is going to suffer as well. We don't know how much of an impact it's gonna be, but there might be a hard period coming. But hey, in my opinion, I think this might be a good thing. You see, in our own lives, we always need some downtime to really think things through, to really figure out where do we want to lead our lives to. I think the same applies to a country on a bigger scale. Because when the hard time comes, it's the best time for us to adjust and to figure out what's the best thing to do and then to bounce back to a better position. Just look at the human history. Every single time when we hit the bottom, we always adjust ourselves and bounce back to a better position. How can this be an exception, right? Personally, I really believe that everybody who's working on fighting the virus is doing such a great job. Come on, we built entire hospitals within 10 days for Christ's sake. The data is being updated every single day, and now you can actually see the number and growth rate of the infected as well as the suspected people is dropping pretty dramatically. And also, we have way more people recovered from the infections than the people got killed by the coronavirus. Just to remind you, a week ago when I uploaded my last video, the number of recovered people and the number of deaths were pretty similar. So this is a dramatic change, in my opinion, which is very, very good news. These days, a lot of people are working really hard on their jobs. Our security guards in this neighborhood, they are working 24/7 outside in the coldness just to make sure that everybody is following the instructions and not spreading the virus. The staff in the supermarkets, they are working really hard to put food on the shelves for people to buy, to make sure that we have food supplies so nobody would freak out. And turns out, yesterday when we went to the supermarket, I saw full shelves of food, and that made me super happy. And my mom is still working more than 14 hours every single day in the hospital. So I wish she doesn't get crushed by the workload. But there's pretty much nothing I can do, to be honest, except wishing her the best. So I think that's pretty much the status. In terms of our lives, we're pretty much just trying our best to cope with the boredom. You know, we watched 2 movies about some deadly flus that were killing people, and that really freaked me out. But I think on the other hand, we learned something about those deadly viruses in a very dramatic and imaginary way. But I think the worst part of this kind of life is that sometimes the weather is really good. I mean, you can see the sky is nice, but you just cannot go out. That actually really kills me. My girlfriend works out at home every single day, and I am programming every single day. Oh, by the way, I actually created an app in the last couple of days called Pandemic Alert, which is an app that would help you to track the movement of the coronavirus. I will link it down below, it's online already. I just thought this might help some people, so yeah, I just did it. If you're interested, just check it out, and I hope it's useful to you. You see, this couple of days, I don't have much dramatic feelings about this coronavirus anymore. I think I just got used to it. And also, every single day, I was just focusing on writing code, so pretty much nothing else. But I still feel uncertain. It has been half a month to 20 days already. We still don't know how long would this thing last. But hey, like I said, hard times might be good. It only tests us. I hope I can stop updating you guys about this coronavirus after this video, because this is the least thing I want to do. But I'm gonna upload another video about how I created the online app that can help you to track the coronavirus in your region. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. I'll see you guys soon.